Our top focus story on the broadcast is the special probe team that's at the house of Justice Yashwant Verma in the national capital. So the heat mounts on the Delhi High Court Justice Verma investigations. The three-judge panel formed by the Chief Justice of India's Collegium visited Justice Verma's residence to investigate where that burnt cash haul, that large stash of cash was recovered. Where is that storeroom where that money was allegedly kept? The Allahabad High Court Bar Association, meanwhile, has announced they will be on an indefinite strike that starts the 25th of March to protest the proposed repatriation of Justice Yashwant Verma to the parent High Court, which is the Allahabad High Court. Now, in a political showdown, Jagdeep Dhankar, chairperson of the Rajya Sabha, Vice President of India, he met opposition leaders of the House. We will look into all these different angles, but first, our top story is this special three-judge panel that visited the scene of the incident where that large stash of cash was recovered, partially burnt.
The probe into the alleged cash haul at a Delhi High Court judge's house gathers steam. The three-judge panel appointed by the Chief Justice of India visited Justice Yashwant Verma's residence on Tuesday.
Sources informed India Today that probe committee comprising Chief Justices of Punjab and Haryana High Court, Karnataka High Court and Himachal Pradesh High Court had arrived here, and in fact they spent around 45 minutes inquiring about the incident. In fact, they also recorded statement of Justice Verma and in fact also visited the exact spot or the exact room that had caught fire and where this alleged recovery of burned cash notes was made.
The Supreme Court Collegium has recommended transfer of Justice Yashwant Verma to the Allahabad High Court, but the decision has triggered protest. The Allahabad High Court Bar Association has begun an indefinite strike, raising concerns over allegations of corruption against the judge.
हमारी ये लड़ाई इसलिए हो रही है कि मेरे यहाँ जो हार्ड वर्किंग ऑनेस्ट जजेस हैं, आज उनकी छवि खतरे में पड़ी हुई है। इलाहाबाद हाई कोर्ट को डंपिंग ग्राउंड समझ लिया है। जो भी होगा उसको आप यहीं करप्शन के चार्ज पे कहीं कोई जज को ट्रांसफर किया किसी डाउट पे, तो इलाहाबाद इज ए हाई कोर्ट वहां ट्रांसफर कर दो। I have scheduled a meeting.
Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar called a meeting of floor leaders to discuss the cash haul.
I have scheduled a meeting after seeking convenience at 4:30 p.m. today with the floor leaders as suggested by leader of the opposition and agreed to by leader of the House. I am sure we will have very fruitful interaction and find a way out.
The opposition raised the issue in Parliament.
In-house procedure of the judicial system is concurrent and independent to what Parliament does. And the constitutional procedure with regard to the oversight of judiciary has been laid down very explicitly in the Constitution of India. If the Law Minister does not make a statement to Parliament, he would be in violation of constitutional propriety.
The cash was recovered on March 14 when a fire broke out at Justice Verma's residence. The Supreme Court later posted videos of burning cash submitted by the Delhi police.
Mr. Justice Yashwant Verma.
Justice Verma, in response to Delhi High Court Chief Justice, dismissed any link to the cash. With Nalini Sharma and Rahul Gautam, Bureau Report, India Today.
So let's try and make sense of these latest developments that are taking place, and they're taking place at multiple levels. We'll get you ground reports from Allahabad, where lawyers are protesting. We'll get you the latest from Parliament, what's happening in Parliament. We'll also tell you what's the thinking in the judiciary. We'll also take you to ground zero to Justice Yashwant Verma's house. Joining me now for more on this big story are my colleagues. Nalini covers the Supreme Court. Our legal editor Nalini Sharma joins us from the newsroom. Rahul Gautam joins us from Justice Verma's residence. Rahul, let me quickly come to you first. And Rahul, I want to understand from you. So this special committee formed by the Supreme Court, it arrived at Justice Verma's house. What transpired after that? Because I believe this is that official fact-finding team. Initially, the Delhi High Court Chief Justice's investigation was only perhaps ascertaining facts. How is this three-member team different, and what is their task? What all did they do today?
Well, Gaurav, this in-house committee, inquiry committee that has been formed by Supreme Court arrived here at Justice Verma's residence. That's 30 Tughlaq Crescent Road around 2 p.m. And the committee stayed here for around 45 minutes. Now, during this course, we've been informed from our sources that they recorded a detailed statement of Justice Verma. They also went on to the very spot, the outhouse where this fire incident had happened. And in fact, they stayed here for 45 minutes. The committee comprises three, chief justices: Chief Justice of Karnataka, Chief Justice of Haryana and Punjab, and also Himachal Pradesh. Now, after they spent 45 minutes here, they left. Later on, around half an hour, later, four staff members of Delhi High Court, they arrived here in a car. They went on, straight away to the security guard room. They took some details of the entry register. All those who were coming in. All those who had visited this place. They also took some videographic evidence of the CCTV footage. So clearly, as far as this probe is concerned, we all know that how opposition is seeking answers on this issue. As we speak, a meeting is underway of all the floor leaders of Rajya Sabha, which is chaired by Rajya Sabha chairperson Mr. Dhankar. It is attended by leader of the House JP Nadda, leader of opposition Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, and therefore it seems that the Supreme Court had decided to not just kick off the investigation, but also to expedite, given the fact that although there is no timeline to complete the investigation, but obviously they would want this to be completed at the earliest.
Stay with me for a moment. There are multiple questions, and before I bring in Nalini for more on this, I also want to bring in Shreya, who joins us on this broadcast. Shreya, there are many questions in the minds of people, including the various figures that are being given. How much cash was recovered? How much cash was there? Where is that cash now? Where has that evidence disappeared? Is there still a strong case without that evidence in terms of, who ordered the removal of the burnt cash? Do we know now where all of that is, Shreya?
Well, that is exactly what this committee is looking at, Gaurav, because the understanding of the fact that why was the burnt debris of the cash removed on the morning of the 15th, that has been defined in the exchanges that has been put on record by the Supreme Court. All these things are right now being analyzed. There are details of the staff who were present that day when the incident transpired, the details of those involving in the Delhi Police Security Department. All these people will be questioned. The CCTV footage of the residence of Mr. Verma will also be analyzed, and that's exactly where they will be coming to a point to what transpired, because the justice concerned, he still claims that he suspects a conspiracy. He suggests that he's been targeted for quite some time now in that entire exchange. Remember, he's mentioned the date of December 2024 about some post also coming against him on social media. So all these things in total will be analyzed. But so far as today's presence of the committee at his residence, it's particularly about gathering electronic evidence and talking with the staff members who were present that day when the incident transpired on the intervening night of 13th.
Gathering electronic evidence is also very crucial. And Nalini, this three-member panel, they are very eminent judges of courts, and they are the final word as far as the common man is concerned. There's so much faith in the judiciary, and the main effort is to ensure that that faith of judiciary in judiciary is not shaken by that cash haul. Honorable Justice Verma says, not my money. I don't know how that money got here, but where did that money disappear? Where is that evidence? Is all of that crucial to fact-finding or investigations as they get underway?
Well, it's extremely crucial, Gaurav, essentially because only after the chain of events of the night of March 14th are put into place by somebody reliable, by somebody whose word can be taken on face value, only then it can be decided what needs to be the future course of action. So this is step one of the entire probe that is going to go on regarding this case. And in case Justice Verma is found innocent, there is no prima facie case against him after the inquiry of this three High Court judges is done. In that case, of course, there won't be any further steps. But at the same time, they will have to clear his name. For that, the details of this report that will be sent out by the three-member committee will have to be put into the public domain, because it's going to be in his best interest to ensure that if there is no prima facie case against him, details are put out as soon as possible. On the other hand, if there is a prima facie case that is found against him, then that will mean that this is going to go on for much longer, because then an official probe, probably a multi-agency probe, will have to be ordered to ensure that whether or not this money was attained through legitimate means or not. Considering the amount of cash that we've seen in the video, it doesn't seem legitimate. But at the same time, they will have to determine whether or not there was any quid pro quo. Was this in return for some favors that were given by a sitting judge of the High Court? All of these are going to be crucial questions that the investigating agencies will have to answer. Right now, it's just still step one, where 3 High Court judges, 2 Chief Justices and 1 judge are conducting this inquiry from the national capital. They've all flown in. From Chandigarh, we have the Chief Justice of the Punjab and Haryana High Court. From Himachal, we have the Chief Justice of the Himachal High Court. And from Bangalore, we have one of the judges of the Karnataka High Court, who've all flown into Delhi to conduct this inquiry. They visited the residence of Justice Verma. We are given to understand that there's a possibility that they might have even met him inside and might have recorded a short statement, although we are still waiting for a confirmation on that. But it now all hinges on this inquiry, because when a report is submitted to the Chief Justice of India is when he is going to decide what the future course of action should be and whether a proper inquiry should be ordered in. And also in the meantime, will Justice Verma be asked to step down, or whether an impeachment motion will be brought against him, is all something that we will get to know only after the report has been submitted by the inquiry committee.
Oh, absolutely, because the majesty of the judiciary, the faith in the judiciary, the final arbiter, when people have an argument, they say, I'll see you in court, and they go to courts. So they have to be of unimpeachable integrity in terms of a cash haul at that place. But I want to once again bring in Rahul Gautam, because Jagdeep Dhankar saying that, yes, the courts have put everything out in public domain, but we need to deliberate on it. Rahul, what does that mean? CJI put everything in public domain, is what Chairman of Rajya Sabha issue needs to be deliberated. Now, when lawmakers deliberate, what are they deliberating on? Are we perhaps looking at lawmakers once again, looking at accountability and, NJAC once again coming back, or is that jumping the gun at this stage?
Gaurav, as far as opposition benches are concerned, they are giving adjournment notices every day to suspend the business as far as both the houses are concerned, and discuss the alleged recovery of cash notes from Justice Verma's residence. Now, the leader of the house, Mr. J.P. Nadda, and leader of opposition Mallikarjun Kharge, they both met earlier. Rajya Sabha chairperson Mr. Jagdeep Dhankar, and in fact requested him that this matter should be taken up for discussion, and the sanctity of judiciary should be maintained. We should not discuss this matter, in a way that a collateral damage would be the integrity of judiciary system. So therefore, it was decided that Mr. Dhankar would be meeting all the floor leaders of different various political outfits, and then a future course of action would be decided as to how they're going to decide, how they're going to discuss this issue, given the fact that it should not look upon, that the legislative is trying to infringe upon the very independence of judiciary. At the same time, this issue, many believe, as far as opposition camp is concerned, demand due attention and due discussion on the floor of the House as what really happened, what really transpired, and therefore people have a right to know that what really happened, on the night of 14th, at the residence of Justice Verma, whether there was any recovery.
What happened on the night of 14th? But Nalini, it only came out in public domain a week later. Action apparently started even started happening after that. So is there merit in some saying that, were they trying to find out facts initially? Was it being buried under the carpet? Was there a fact-finding that was already on, and will it remain transparent from this point on? Are those questions valid?
Well, Gaurav, all questions are valid at this point, essentially because the case as it stands at the current moment is a little bit murky. Remember, all of this had happened on the 14th of March when the holy vacations of the courts were still going on. So the court technically wasn't functioning, along with the fact that when this incident had happened, after that there were some very contradictory statements that had come in from the officials itself, not from the media, not from the common citizens, but from the officials who were on the spot. So due to that contradictions or contradictory statements that came, there was a little bit of lack of clarity even for the judges regarding what exactly has happened, along of course with the fact that Justice Verma was vehemently defending himself, stating that he had not heard of any of this cash. In fact, even his family members or his staff had not informed him. So there were a lot of initial hurdles that the CJI as well as the Chief Justice of the Delhi High Court, Justice D.K. Upadhyay, had to cross before they decided what information should be put in the public domain and what shouldn't. Like you correctly pointed out, it's something that pertains to the independence of the judiciary and the trust in the people, the trust of the people in the judiciary itself. So to cast aspersions or to put out something in the public domain which actually goes against the reputation or goes against the integrity of a sitting judge of Premier High Court like the Delhi High Court needs to be done after careful consideration and after all facts have been ascertained. So at least in the beginning, it must have taken some time for the CJI as well as the Chief Justice of the High Court to put the entire pieces together. And after that, a decision had been reached to put out all details that were available with them, including the evidence in the form of pictures and videos.
And that video being put out in public domain. That video being put out in public domain, wads of burnt currency, semi-burnt currency, partially burnt currency in sacks, and all of that burning being pulled out of that storeroom. There's a discrepancy, and perhaps this panel would be able to, the Supreme Court and the High Court panel will be able to shed light on it. Honorable Justice Verma says that storeroom used to be open. The police in its investigation have told the CRPF, Foxtrot Company, 70th Battalion of the CRPF, they've told the Delhi High Court Chief Justice that that storeroom was always under lock and key. So there is a discrepancy, and there are many other discrepancies that we'll be tracking very closely. Many thanks for joining me. There's breaking news that's just coming in. Uttar Pradesh police have reached the house of Sambhal Samajwadi Party MP Zia-ur-Rehman Bark. The police are there to serve a notice on the Sambhal SP when the Samajwadi Party MP Zia-ur-Rehman Bark in connection with the Sambhal riots in November 2024. The police want to question him. Remember, there's an FIR and he's named in that FIR. Here's a Samajwadi Party MP who's named in an FIR in connection with riots that took place in Sambhal when a court-mandated work was going on. A fact-finding survey was on at the Sambhal disputed site. The Samajwadi Party MP is a key accused in the November 2024 riots in Sambhal. The Sambhal police, of course, now they haven't been able to find him, is what sources are telling India Today. The Sambhal police may be coming to Delhi. Remember, Parliament is in session. The Samajwadi Party MP Zia-ur-Rehman Bark is in the national capital, and they may reach Delhi and serve a notice on the Samajwadi Party MP to join investigations. The Sambhal police went to his house. They want to question him. The MP's family told him he's in Delhi, so the police will come here. Police have given a notice, giving a notice to the MP under section 35(3) of the Bharatiya Nyay Sanhita. And I quickly want to cut across to India Today's Samarth Srivastav, who's been tracking developments of the story very closely. Samarth, do we know the line of questioning that the Uttar Pradesh police wants to pursue when they want to question Zia-ur-Rehman Bark, the Samajwadi Party MP? In what connection do they want to serve a notice on him and speak to him?
See, Gaurav, since day one when this riot happened, BJP was taking on the Samajwadi Party and saying that Samajwadi Party MP and even the MLAs have the role in this particular riot. Though police investigation haven't just revealed anything about it, so it seems that there is some angle, there is some conspiracy by a Samajwadi Party MP or the MLA. That's why Sambhal police has reached at the residence of Samajwadi Party MP Bark, though he is not in Sambhal because he is in Parliament, session is going on. So it's quite possible that Sambhal police might reach Delhi to in that particular Vidhayak Niwas, MP Niwas, wherever he'll be staying to serve the notice to join the investigation, because it's not a big thing, it's not a rare thing what actually happened in Sambhal. It also obviously costed lives in this particular riot, but it was somewhere and somehow came in the police investigation that somebody tried in a way to provoke those rioters, be it via WhatsApp messages or some groups. So it's going to be worse thing what comes out in the investigation. But one thing is very clear, the Samajwadi Party MP will be getting a notice by the Sambhal police very soon. Back to you.
Keep tracking that story. I will come back to you for more. And India Today's Devesh Singh now joins me with the latest on this big story. Devesh, the comic remains defiant. Kunal Kamra says, I have no reason to apologize. He's not apologizing. What is the Maharashtra government doing about this? Point one. Point two, the demolition drive. Isn't, there are many who say that this is just to teach people a lesson to deplatform such elements, and it's vendetta politics. How's the administration responding to that?
Well, Gaurav, the first question that you asked, that what is the Maharashtra government doing about it? So there was a major development in the House, in the Assembly today, where CM Devendra Fadnavis and other leaders asked the Speaker to summon, to seek a motion against Kunal Kamra, because he is insulted, he is defamed, he has spread false rumor against Deputy CM Eknath Shinde. And CM Fadnavis clearly stated that it will not be allowed that people like Kunal Kamra, who are using comedy or satire as a tool to launch attacks on political leaders, on senior leaders, and on whose vendetta they are doing it, everything will be investigated. Their links will be investigated, and on whose behest they are doing it, that also will be investigated. That is what CM Fadnavis said. Meanwhile, police has issued notice to Kunal Kamra. He was summoned at 10 a.m. today at the Khar police station. But Kunal Kamra, a few hours later, through his lawyer, sent a letter to the Khar police station seeking a week's time to appear before Khar police station officials. And he said that looking at the present situation, and as of now, he's not in Maharashtra, he's not in Mumbai, he requests for a week's time to appear before Khar police station.
Stay with me there. Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Eknath Shinde has reacted. Eknath Shinde says, and I quote, right to express is important in a democracy, but to say anything in the guise of it and on the instruction of somebody is wrong. He said many things about Prime Minister Narendra Modi, about Chief Justice of India, about Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, about Home Minister Amit Shah. He has been saying such things. Airlines have banned him. Who is behind him? There have been many allegations against him. I don't support the vandalism of the studio that was due to the emotion of party workers. This looks like a well thought out conspiracy. That is what Eknath Shinde, the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, is saying. Devesh, I want to quickly bring you in. The allegation is, whatever the comedian is saying, according to Eknath Shinde, this is political vendetta and somebody is paying him to do this, or words to that effect. Is that the line of investigation of the police also?
Well, the government police as of now has not started investigation. They are waiting for Kunal Kamra to appear and record his initial statement. But as per the government sources, top placed government sources, we spoke to senior cabinet minister Pratap Sarnaik of the Maharashtra government. He is also from Shiv Sena, and he had said that there will be a proper investigation. The accounts of Kunal Kamra will be checked, his CDR will be checked, where is he receiving funds from, who is he speaking to, who is he getting directions from. All that will be verified, will be investigated, and then As per the evidence, further case could be built. As of now, the case remains of defamation, of spreading false rumors, spreading false information through electronic medium against Kunal Kamra for insulting Deputy CM Eknath Shinde through his satirical video.
Keep tracking that story. I will come back to you for more. Divya Singh, for the moment, many thanks for joining me. Union Home Minister Amit Shah speaking in Rajya Sabha. Let's quickly cut across and listen in.
हमारी आपदा प्रबंधन के लिए जो लड़ाई, आपदा के खिलाफ लड़ाई है, वो लड़ाई को एक प्रकार से रिएक्टिव अप्रोच से आगे बढ़ाकर न केवल प्रोएक्टिव अप्रोच, इनोवेटिव अप्रोच और पार्टिसिपेशन करने वाले अप्रोच तक पहुंचाने का ये बिल में प्रयास है। मान्यवर, आपदा जोखिम न्यूनीकरण के लिए देश के सम्माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने 10 सूत्रीय एजेंडा जो विश्व के सामने रखा है, मैं बाद में आऊंगा, मगर मुझे कहते हुए आनंद है कि विश्व के 40 से ज्यादा देशों ने इसका स्वीकार कर लिया है, इसको अपना। न केवल राज्य सरकार और स्थानीय इकाई की सहभागिता, हम समाज की सहभागिता को भी इसमें अपेक्षित रखा है। राष्ट्रीय स्तर के साथ साथ स्थानीय स्तर पर प्लानिंग की इसके अंदर गुंजाइश रखी है और संस्थाओं की शक्तियों और कर्तव्य दोनों का स्पष्टीकरण किया है। कोई भी आपदा के सामने की लड़ाई जब तक संस्थाओं को एम्पावर न करे नहीं लड़ी जा सकती है और जब तक संस्थाओं को रिस्पॉन्सिबल ना करे तब भी नहीं लड़ी जा सकती। और ये विधेयक को कोई ध्यान से देखेगा तो दोनों करने का काम हमने इस विधेयक के अंदर किया है। मान्यवर, हम सब जानते हैं कि आपदा का सीधा रिश्ता जलवायु परिवर्तन के साथ, तो आपदा न आए ऐसी व्यवस्था करने का सबसे अच्छा तरीका तो ये है कि जलवायु परिवर्तन को हम संभाल कर रखें, ग्लोबल वार्मिंग की चिंता करें। और ये आज भारत में जो बात माननीय नरेंद्र भाई कर रहे हैं वो आज की नहीं है, हजारों वर्षों से भारत इस दिशा में आगे बढ़ रहा है। यज्ञों से प्रकृति को अक्षुण्ण रखने की बात हो या यजुर्वेद के अंदर वर्णित शांति पाठ, जिसमें शांति की जो कामना की है वो सिर्फ मानव तक नहीं रखी, पृथ्वी, जल, जड़ी बूटी, वनस्पति, पेड़ पौधे, पशु और वहां तक कि अंतरिक्ष तक की शांति की हम प्रार्थना करते हैं, क्योंकि जलवायु का संरक्षण। और ये हमारे यजुर्वेद के टाइम से, उस समय से, वेदकालीन समय से मनुष्य और प्रकृति का परस्पर संबंध को हमने स्वीकार किया है और हमारी सरकार वही परंपरा को आगे बढ़ाने का काम कर रही है। मान्यवर, आपदा प्रबंधन के बारे में भी हड़प्पन सभ्यता हो या सिंधु सभ्यता, सब जगह पुरानी नगर रचनाओं को देखते हैं तो आपदा प्रबंधन के बहुत विशिष्ट प्रयास इसके अंदर इंगित हुए मिलते हैं।
The Punjab and Haryana High Court has come down heavily on the Punjab Police for the delay in registering an FIR in the case of assaulting an army officer and his son in Patiala. The High Court has directed the Punjab Police to file an affidavit explaining the delay in the registration of the FIR and name the officer responsible for this delay. Now, Colonel Pushpinder Singh Bhatt and his son 23-year-old Angad Singh were assaulted at a dhaba. And you can see those images on your television screen. Those are images that were caught on the CCTV camera at the dhaba, apparently by a team of Punjab Police personnel over an alleged altercation over parking. The colonel is posted in the army headquarters in a very, very sensitive appointment, and his official identity card and mobile phone, we are told, were forcibly taken away by Punjab Police personnel who were alleged to have assaulted him, according to reports. Apparently, they even used baseball bats. Both the colonel and his son, they had grievous injuries. They were later taken to a government hospital for treatment. The police are in the dock for not only the assault, but also for a delay in the registration of FIR, and later reports claim that the officer was apparently under the influence of liquor, a charge that was proven to be false. Medical tests were done at the government hospital and no traces of alcohol were found in his system. The police are also alleged to have tried to intimidate his wife, Jaswinder Kaur Bhatt, into withdrawing her complaint seeking justice. Colonel Bhatt has now pleaded with the High Court for the transfer of investigations to the Central Bureau of Investigation for a free and fair probe. The colonel and his son were later shifted to Command Hospital Chandi Mandir for treatment. Punjab Police DGP Gaurav Yadav called the incident an aberration and said that a transparent investigation will be carried out. Lots of reactions coming in. Listen in.
We reiterate the need for a fair and honest investigation in a transparent and a very time-bound manner to punish the guilty and restore faith in the system. All possible steps are being taken to ensure that the Indian Army officer Colonel Pushpinder Singh Bhatt, who was assaulted upon by the police personnel, gets due justice. I would like to assure all that the Indian Army remains fully committed to pursuing the case to its logical conclusion.
The continuous contact between the Army authorities and the civil administration has helped in speedy resolution of the matter and ensuring delivery of justice to the aggrieved Army officer. The concerned police officials have been placed under suspension and departmental proceedings for major penalty have been initiated. The police officials have been transferred out of district Patiala in order to ensure that the investigations can be conducted in a fair manner. Any person who has assaulted the serving army officer shall be dealt with severely in accordance with law. The criminal investigation shall be completed swiftly so that the culprits are brought to book soon.
And joining me now on 5 Live, Jaswinder Kaur Bhatt, wife of Colonel Bhatt, who's led this fight for justice. Also with me is Shashikant, former DGP of Punjab, and Kapil Sankla, an advocate in the Supreme Court for a legal perspective on this big story. Ms. Bhatt, first glimmer of hope that you will get justice with the Honorable High Court directing the police to explain the delay in filing the FIR?
Yeah, they've given, I have appealed because I was not getting any way out. I have finally approached the High Court and I'm looking for justice for my husband and his uniform and his pride, which I will not leave until and unless I get the justice.
Mr. Sankla, does the police action smack of delaying tactics, assault that took place on the night of 13th and 14th, and an FIR that was registered perhaps a week later, and that too not on the basis of the complaint filed by Colonel Bhatt, a decorated serving army officer, but on the complaint of a dhaba owner?
Well, this is wrong on so many levels, I do not even know where to start. First and foremost, there was a delay in registering of the FIR, and the poor lady in the middle of the night was made to run from pillar to post. This is in complete contravention to various judgments of the High Court and the Punjab Haryana High Court and the Honorable Supreme Court, including in Lalita Kumari, that said that the FIR will be registered irrespective of the jurisdiction, will be registered immediately without further delay, and it would be a contempt of the orders of the Honorable Supreme Court if the FIR is not registered. Not only the delay here, but the purposefully attempt of the police officers to digress the issue by getting a third-party FIR and also making a lady run from pillar to post is absolutely shocking. What is even shocking today is that those 12 officers have merely been suspended and not arrested despite cogent evidence. You see that this is a case of attempt to murder, grievous injury, etc., etc. There
So
have been
let's take this step by step, sir. Since you've shed legal light on this, I want to bring in Mr. Shashikant. The Punjab Police is so well respected. It's a police force that has tremendous experience in tackling terror, in keeping our country safe. Why would the Punjab Police behave in the manner in which it did? What is your appreciation, sir? You've led this police force.
Yeah, to start with, I'll say that hats off to the lady, Mrs. Bhatt. She is really courageous, and the way she has taken this particular fight, I'll say that hats off to, may God bless her with a long and happy life. And secondly, talking about this particular incident, certainly it's shocking, it's horrible, but what happens is an ailment, I think, which has crept into not only Punjab Police, but I think most of the police forces all over the country. In each and every state, in each and every district even, they always form a small group of this kind of persons who are basically hoodlums, who just try to take law into their hands, and they are used for this kind of nefarious things like a shootout, like an encounter, etc. And then they are protected, and this power, this protection goes into their heads. They think that they become law unto themselves, and they behave, misbehave, and grossly misbehave on such incidents. Thank you.
Ms. Bhatt, explain why, even though a magisterial inquiry was ordered and under tremendous pressure, considering you were running from pillar to post, and on that night, in the same clothes that you had slept in, because your husband had been assaulted, your son had been assaulted, charges that they were under influence of liquor was being leveled on them. But even after that, you did not get justice till the time you approached the governor. Why does that not give you hope that there is a magisterial inquiry that was ordered? Why is it that Colonel Bhatt and you seek a CBI investigation, madam?
Yeah, I'll tell you the way as I told you about the whole incident earlier. As a
Yes.
lady and a senior, my husband being into that post is not the question. Question is any lady who has run to save her husband or son and has approached SSP the whole night. And when I go approach him and I tell him I'm sorry that I'm coming in my nightwear, but I didn't have any option. And he sends me from one police station to another police station, not feeling that how would she feel going in her nightwear right and left, who has to go and be with her husband. And the way of torturous thing SSP Nanak did with me was, it was so torturous that from night 11 o'clock till 1 o'clock, he made me shuffle from one police station to another. It was shocking. The next day, they called the culprits to the office and then tell them to ask for forgiveness from me. And when they asked for forgiveness, I told them, just go out. I am not going to forgive you for what you have done. And then in front of DSP Satnam, their own senior police officials, these guys tells me that you are going to be in Patiala, I'm going to be in Patiala, and your son is here, so watch out. So
Oh my God.
inside the police station, they had
Oh
guts
my
to,
God.
scare me. And then SSP Nanak has been informed by that, and still they were roaming around without their name being mentioned in suspension. And they were using the government vehicles and the guards and roaming around. The guard is not needed by people who guard us. Guard is needed to people here who are being threatened by these. And
I
I
want to
don't
bring in
know.
Mr. Sankla. I want to
I want
bring
to
in
say
Mr.
one
Sank.
thing. I
Go
want to
on,
say
ma'am.
one thing on this.
Yes,
This
please.
is not a fight between army or police. It is fight between these few police people who have made it into a gunda raj. And this is not their doing. It is their seniors who have not been able to groom them properly and giving them a shield that you can do anything and you'll be escaped. There are so many cases pending on these four officers in Patiala
Okay.
that justice given to anybody, or everything has been compromised and settled by
That's
SSP
a very
himself. He calls me
pertinent point you're making, Ms. Bhatt.
and
Ma'am,
he
that's a
told me in his office, the SSP tells me compromise is only the option, ma'am. This is what he tells me after seeing
and
that
this is
brutal video where he has
one
beaten.
uniform to another uniform. one
And then
uniform to
you,
another uniform. It just defies logic. But
it
I want to once again bring
pains.
in Mr.
It
Sankla for
pains.
the
It
legal perspective.
no, no.
For
It
the
pains
legal
when
perspective.
SSP. It pains when SSP
Yes.
saw all the videos and evidence and still never, when he suspended, my husband could only recognize four SHOs. Rest were told that they were the officers who said the people were involved. But these four people, he could not take four SHOs name on suspension. He could not tell the media why SSP, who's the district law and order in charge in Patiala, could not
Yes.
take action and take their name. What was the reason of
Mr.
hiding
Sankla,
their
that's
name?
a very pertinent point, Ms. Bhatt is making, that
Yes.
fine, the inspectors made a mistake. Fine, the inspectors were seen as these, encounter specialists, but at least an SSP, a senior police officer, an IPS officer is expected to restrain them. Unfortunately, even that didn't happen. So this is a failure of the system, sir, is it not?
This is an absolute disgrace, as I was saying. You see, the senior officers, only because the lady had the gumption, the power to make some noise and take help of media, is now in a way threatening her that yes, आप settle कर लो वरना आपकी family भी यहीं पे रहती है. This officer should also be suspended. Strict action should be taken. His vardi should be taken off, because this gives a wrong message to the police that don't worry, we'll suspend you for some time, but your officers will take place. Understand this: attempt to murder with dangerous weapon is punishable with up to 10 years of imprisonment. And the officer is saying, doesn't matter, compromise this. And even now they are only getting suspended and nobody is getting arrested. What happens if some action, some illegal action is taken by them? I don't even understand how, under the circumstances, the hospital could have given them a clean chit. So that also needs to be checked, because you also know with the other case that took place that how
Yes.
even the hospitals are being manipulated when that boy was arrested. So there is
Yes.
No, no,
much
and they've
more.
done this. They've done this because now they're saying there were two people who were arrested. This was the team which was DIG in the morning had awarded 10 lakh rupees for an encounter. And he had given them promotions that they will be promoted. And these were the same team which had come to Rajendra Hospital, and then they were drunk, stayed wearing their khaki trousers and civil shirts. And then the police have to make up a story that they had come there in their civil dress to catch a drug peddler with a headlight, with a police vehicle, because they didn't want to
Okay.
tell their identity, and but then identity was to be hidden with the police vehicle which was flashing on the light. You can see it in the
You
video.
know, who better than Mr. Shashikant to shed light on whether this is a systemic failure, not just of police personnel high on their power, but even an IPS officer who's expected to rein them in, sir. Is this a failure? I will not say collapse, but a failure of the system up the chain of command. Loyalty to lanyard became more important than loyalty to justice, sir.
It's a totally failure of system, I'll admit there. And to add this thing, I'll say that these hoodlums, some of these hoodlums, they become so powerful. In the past, I have seen several incidents where these hoodlums have the audacity of getting the SSP and even DIGs transferred out because they refuse to fall in their line. This is the state of affairs. That's why I say it's a systematic failure, which I think unfortunately nobody is taking any action on it. There have been innumerable sort of reports on how the police morale should be increased, their training, etc., etc. These reports are just catching dust, no actions taken, and again, it's all leading to a systematic failure.
There's no
Okay.
nothing. This has become a
Ms.
Gunda
Bhatt, there's
Raj.
another point I want to put to you. There's another point I want to put to you. Your husband is posted in a very sensitive location, and since we are on TV, I'm not naming that location where he is. But his mobile phone was forcibly taken away. So was his identity card, and both you and he are very worried about that. Why do you think that that too should be independently investigated?
Yeah, because question is, see, his mobile department, that doesn't have any kind of a thing. But then question is, I card his it's a government treasury which is in his hand. If they would have photocopied his I-card, and they can, this, see, this terrorism, these people have no values for anything. If the somebody who has values would not behave in such uncivilized manner. And this is all because their seniors are shielding them. Secondly, Punjab Police, they've just, you must have heard about the fake encounter cases which have just opened up. I don't know how many houses, when I was sitting in the morcha, people came that they've been just killing. Each and every house has one person who's been encountered, and Punjab Police should be asked that why all the encounters, the children of the people are killed, why only Punjab Police is getting bullets in their legs,
Okay.
and none of the Punjab Police gets hurt. And secondly, this party, when
Ma'am,
they today they
these
said
are
that they
multiple
FIR.
questions, and we
No, one
perhaps
question I want to ask,
will
I want
in
to inform. Today,
yes.
when they said ki this police, that constable had got injured, that injury was made during this fight or was it during the encounter? How do we know? It's the same day.
We will track that story very closely, and you're seeking a CBI inquiry. I hope truth prevails. For joining me here, Ms. Bhatt, Mr. Sankla, and Mr. Shashikant, many thanks. This is a fight for justice, and we will track the story closely.